Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, to one and all present here. Welcome to the fourth day of technology-based entrepreneurship development program, Aquaculture. Today I introduce Mr. Kishore Kumar, Director of Startup Grid. We welcome you, sir. You may start the session now. So, Mr. Kishore Kumar, sir. Mr. Kishore Kumar, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I'm sorry, I just got disconnected and I'm back. And thank you so much for having me here. Thanks to sathyabama-tbi as well as to all the participants over here. So before I start this particular topic, it's kind of a tricky topic. I want each and every one of the participants, if you could able to interact with me and keep it as live as possible, that would be best for me to get onto this topic because like this is not a topic where like I can do a monologue where I can explain certain things and go on with that. So please help me out in having a very interactive session. So I believe like you would have gone through 3 days of journey with this aquaculture kind of session, and today this is a very important topic. I would say why it is very important because like I've been in the startup ecosystem for more than a decade, and I do know like a lot of people comes with me with an idea and say like this is what I'm planning to do, and these are the features of my product or a service, and so on and so forth. But end of the day, what determines the customer's success of a startup or a product or a service for that matter is what really matters, right? And that will determine whether that startup can have a very sustainable footprint in the market as well. So how do we analyze or how do we understand whether there is a need for my product or my service in the market, and how do you say like okay, this is what my customer expects from me? So all this put together is what we call as like value proposition. So before I is it possible for you me to allow screen sharing?
One second, sir.
Okay, till the time, any one of you need not like you have to unmute yourself, but at least in the chat, can you at least let me know what is that your perception of what is value proposition? What do you think like what is value proposition? Can you please list down out in the chat box, or like you can unmute yourself and you can speak also to get a better clarity. I mean, let me be very honest, I have not prepared anything for the PT. My way of doing presentation is like I'll try to understand the participants' perspectives, and I will try to reframe my entire session accordingly. So please help me out on that. Anyone? Okay, I think I have the option to share my screen now. Can you guys view my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes. So as I already mentioned, what is value proposition? Right now, value proposition varies from person to person, from perspective to perspective. But in general, when I say a value proposition or whenever I ask a question, what is that you offer to your customer? In general, this is what. This is the kind of answers we generally look into startups, or rather, I would say the startup wanted to give a kind of answer to customers. Now, basically, when I try to ask this question, why do you think your customer should choose your product or service? When you are able to crack that, that is the most important value proposition you're offering to the startup. So, yes. Okay, so Vinith has given me benefits of the product to the society. That's one way of doing things. So my next slide talks about that. That is, thank you for that answer. Thank you for keeping me very interactive. Uh, the thing is like, why do you think your customer should choose your product or service? One thing is, of course, the benefits. Of course, you can talk about the features, but here I'm not asking you to sell the product, right? Whenever you choose to sell the product, you talk more about your product features or the benefits, right? Now, my question is slightly different, though it is, I mean, relatively oriented, but my question is slightly different. What I'm trying to ask is like, why do you think the customer will choose your product? When I say choose your product, it ideally means that you try to touch upon a pain problem they've been facing and you're trying to provide a solution here. That solution can vary. It can vary from features, can vary from services or whatever it may be. But like, what is the solution you're planning to offer, and how do you put that solution as a package and give it to a customer, and the customer is willing to pay for it? So that's pretty much the value proposition. What is the value you're offering to the customers end of the day? And the next immediate answer, what I'll try to get is that, like has been rightly pointed out by Vinith also, the features, right? You talk about the features, but the value proposition and features are something different. They are not, they are aligned together when you package it together, but these two things are completely different. Now, features are those things that the product has. You can say like my product does this, and you can list it out and say like this is what the benefit having my product. But end of the day is that the value proposition is what the buyers will gain with those things. So buyers is not going to see, for example, if a smartphone is being released in the market, the smartphone may have multiple features. Say it may have like 50 a megapixel of camera. It can say like I mean like 15 minutes of fast charging, or it can say like it has this much memory capacity or so and so forth. That are the features the product has. But why is that the what is that I'm as an individual I'm gonna gain by buying that product? That varies, right? For an individual, see, you can segment up market in accordingly, right? There will be different set of people who are very keen in the camera features, or some products. Some of the customers may wanted to have a better battery capacity, but that is the value you are trying to give to them, right? So what is that the buyers will gain with those things is what you try to understand. When having said that, your product may have a value, your product may have a features, but the other thing we also what we need to keep on understanding is that there are products and services already available in the market, right? So when these kind of services or products are already available in the market, what is the added value proposition you're trying to give to the customers, and you believe that the customer will buy the product based on which? So that is what is called as added value proposition. So to keep it simple, let me go on and understand about our, as I already mentioned, this is more of a use case topic for better understanding rather than like me speaking a lot about it. Say, for example, I believe like most of us use Amazon Prime. So, any one of you, I'll quickly give you like 2 to 3 minutes. Can you please jot down what is the value proposition Amazon Prime is offering to the customers, or what else, whatever comes to your mind, you please put it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can introduce and you can speak up also. Just quickly in 2 to 3 minutes. Can you guys do that for me? Faster delivery. Okay. Now, when you say faster delivery, do you say like this faster delivery is the value proposition which has been offered to the customer? Fast and free delivery, low product value, free delivery, great, great. Okay, understood. Fine, great. Thank you so much. So I'll just jolt on a little of a kind of aspects from my perception. The first thing is, as been already been mentioned by you, Amazon Prime purchases are delivered in 2 days. So if I have an Amazon Prime, then it essentially means that for guaranteed, I will get my product within 2 days. If it is in the warehouse, there is a possibility of having that product within a day also. That is also available, right? But having said that, now Amazon Prime purchases are delivered in 2 days. Is this the value proposition being offered by Amazon Prime or what it is? So this is how you will term it. Now, Amazon Prime purchases are delivered in 2 days is the feature, right? And what does that feature is going to help me out is that Amazon Prime purchases are delivered in 2 days so that I can get your items or you can get your items quickly. That is the benefit I'm getting out of the features being provided by Amazon Prime. See, I'm talking about the features as well as I'm talking about the benefits, but still I haven't touched upon the value proposition itself. But see, we all know the features, we all know the benefits of what I'm going to reap out of this, but what exactly the value proposition it's going to offer? The value proposition here is this is how we generally term it. Amazon Prime purchases are delivered in 2 days. So the benefit is that you're going to get your items quickly. Because your items arrive quickly, you can skip the store and eliminate the hassle of driving and waiting in long lines. So this is the value proposition Amazon is offering to all the customers. What he says is like, when you need to come to my store, you can eliminate the traveling hours or like the traffic, and you can eliminate standing in long queues in purchasing any items. So that is the value being offered to those customers, and henceforth the customers wanted to purchase products through Amazon. Wherein in Amazon, like having said that this is the value being offered to me, what all the features I can have in the product so that I can retain my customer within my platform and give the benefits to my customers. So the benefits is like you can get the items quickly. How do you get that? Using a feature. What is the feature? The feature is that you can get delivered in 2 days. So that's how the entire product life cycle around revolves. So whenever you are trying to offer a product, be on the shoes of a customer, try to understand what exactly he wants, what exactly he or she wants, and indicating that this is the value I'm offering to you. When someone says like you want, say for example, if Amazon gives the same statement indicating that you can have the delivery within 2 days, the next immediate question is like, why do you want to have it delivery in 2 days? What is it for me? I mean, like, so what is that like I'm getting out of it? That's how the question should pop up from the customer end, and that's how you should start answering the question also. So I'm just giving you as an example this Amazon Prime. And the next important aspect is that, as I already been mentioned even during the start of this discussion itself, like this is a topic which varies from person to person, right? The person and person is something different. For example, my value proposition or my want from a customer may be completely different from what exactly been offered. Say, I'll try to segregate in three different aspects. For example, as an inventor, as a manufacturer, or a founder of a startup, you may believe like this is the value I can offer to my customers, right? That is one segment. The other segment is like as a customer, what is that I want from a product or a service? That is another perspective to it. And the third one is the investor. Investor will always have a different perspective towards like whatever being offered to him, right? So there are three different ball games which a founder needs to play. Whenever as an inventor or a manufacturer, what we generally tend to do is that like we will feel that these are the features, these are the product, and these are the benefits my customer can avail. Henceforth, I'm releasing this product to the market, right? That's how we generally do, and that's how more often or not I can see what is happening in the startup ecosystem. But that should be the other way around. The other way around is that you should understand what exactly the customer wants, and whether, see, for me as an inventor, I believe like this is a must-have product, right? And I believe like it should be in the hands of each and every customer. But that is not the way, right? It is a difference. There is always a difference of must-have and nice to have, and this must-have, nice to have also has different variations. For example, in the market segmentation itself, the must-have product is different for different customer segments. To give you an example, say for example, if I want to purchase a car, right? For a customer in the say for example the mid sector, uh, not in the premium range, in the mid sector, if I wanted to purchase a car, my must have offerings from the car manufacturer should be like, I will look for the quality of the car, the durability of the car, or as well as maybe the mileage, right? That is what my must have. And the nice to have, or maybe if it is the sound system, if it has this leather seats and so, right? That can be another way of doing things. So that must have and nice to have is something different. Okay. If this must have itself, if I enter into the premium segment customers, their perception of must have is that they may look for a comfortness, they may look for luxury, they may look for like proper leather seats, nice sound system. For them, the must have is not the mileage. So the must have and nice to have itself varies according to the customers. So before I enter into the market, I need to understand what market segment I'm trying to address. In that market segment, what is a must to have, what is a nice to have products for them. And as I rightly mentioned, I mean, as I already mentioned, if it is a mid-segment car, the nice to have are leather seats, and these are add-ons, right? You can see in the car showroom itself there is a different segment where if you want to add on certain items to the car, you can do that. Those are nice to have, but that is essentially a must-have product for that. I mean, the must-have is the one where the customers are willing to pay. Unless and until I'm not able to understand what is the must-have, as well as the offerings or the value what my customer is looking for, is not going to pay me at all. Right? So in order to make a sale, I need to understand what is that I need to give to my customers so he is willing to pay. That willing to pay features, as been mentioned, the features is something different, but the value what being offered to my customers is very, very important, right? So this is a basic template which you can Google and get it down also. I mean, the value proposition of the customer segment. This is how the canvas itself talks about. And the value proposition is from the manufacturer end, what was supposed to do, or from a startup end, what you're supposed to do is like you try to understand these three segments of what is the gain, what is the pain, and what are the product and services. So what is the gain? What is the pain? Before start analyzing the value proposition part, we need to understand the customer segment part. As it been mentioned, the customer segment plays a different role. The pain of the customer segment from each and every variations differs. The pain for me may not be the pain for the next another customer also. So the market share is very, very important before releasing a product into the market. And whether there is a pain in the market share, what I'm trying to address is crucial. And am I able to provide a solution for the pain being already suffered by my customers? That is very, very important. If I'm not able to address that, no customers is going to buy the product at all. And what is that? After understanding the pain part, so the pain point and the pain relievers are directly connected. Pain is the one, the problem, and the solution you're trying to give as a startup founder or an inventor for that matter. And the pain relievers is that which you try to address the value you can offer in order the solution. I mean, the solution you can offer in order you are believing enough that will reduce the pain of the customer, right? That is one thing. The other thing is like, now I know this is my problem, right? And I have a solution for that. But what is that extra I can get out of that solution is called as gains. Now the gains is that like these features, the kind of benefits what I can avail. For example, there are some multiple add-ons, right? Now, whenever you try to choose a Airtel broadband or whatever, there is a something add-on saying that like you can avail 12-month free Prime membership or so and so. Those are the gains what the customer is going to get out of that, and that has been identified by the gain creators. These game creators are the one who work with the organization, try to understand the problem of the customer as well as what else we can provide to the customer so that I can retain him in my platform. And these product and services are the, I mean, it is directly connected from the game creators. Game creators are the one who is providing the products uh, which is going to solve the problem as well as which are going to give more benefits for my customers. So my customers is going to stay with me for a very long period of time. What is this customer job is that having a product in my hand, how well I can utilize that product for so many other purposes. Need know that, like say for example, mobile phone is meant for communication, right? To have a communication between me and another person. But that is the problem. And having addressed that, I have a solution for that. And I have a fantastic customer connectivity or network connectivity to address my solution. I mean, address my problem. Mobile phone is always available. But having said that, what else the mobile phone can offer to a customer? Now, having a customer having a mobile phone in my hand, I'm not going to do calls. I'm going to surf through my internet. I'm going to take photos. I'm going to take videos, or I'm going to play games. These are the different kind of jobs which I'm basically do with my product, right? So that is how it happens. And the other important aspect is also is that this value proposition, where exactly it would reflect this when I'm trying to understand my customer segment, when I know the pains, gains, what else they do using my product. Now I'm creating a value out of it. Now this is very essential for me to sell my product on the market. One thing. Second thing is like this value proposition is also very, very, very important in pricing your product. How do I price my product? Right now, have I know my market, I know what is the problem being faced in the market. Now I'm providing a solution. Also, I'm providing a top of add-ons or features or benefits to my customers. Whether my customer will be able to pay the price what I'm putting in the label. How can I come to a conclusion that whether my customer will pay X amount for the product or service being offered to them? That is another crucial point, right? So basically, any one of you, not on the business side, but basically, what is your take on buying a product? What is the price you are generally tend to pay or like willing to pay? How do you determine that price, that X value? How do you do so? Please, if you can list it out in the chat box, it will be easy for me. Before you pay for a product, how do you see that? What are the factors comes to your mind before pricing a product? Or is it like whatever has been in the label you are planning to, I mean, all the participants are willing enough to pay that and get it done? How do you do that? Anyone? I can see a lot of people here, almost 30 people. No one has an idea. But we generally, as an Indians, we do like bargaining, right? We do negotiations with any one of the customer. I mean, the seller. On what basis we are doing these negotiations? How do we say like this product is not so worthy? How are we doing that? Okay, fine. So there are two things. One is from the customer end, as I mentioned, like we have a tendency of doing negotiation or bargaining with the seller, right? And we always have, I mean, get onto a fight with the seller, say like this is not this much worthy. So if this is not this much worthy, you have some price in mind, price in the customer's mind, and likewise as a manufacturer, you do also have a certain price point in his mind. How does he arrive at that price point as a seller? So say for example, if Mercedes-Benz or like I mean, like Mercedes-Benz, if you take iPhone is sold at like close to 1 lakh bucks, right? How did they arrive at that 1 lakh rupees? That is the price my customer is willing to pay. And we do know for a factor, though the price is 1 lakh rupees, most of us are using iPhones. How do they arrive at that price point? How do they see like, okay, this is the price my customer is willing to pay? Is it based on the bill of materials? Is it based on the manufacturing cost? Is it based on like what is that? What is that they the parameters they will good quality? Okay, fine, good quality is what they're trying to do. But before see, just because I'm giving you good quality, the cost cannot be 1 lakh rupees, right? There should be some kind of parameters. There should be a list of items which will come to a conclusion that okay, my customers will be ready to pay. What is that? Market survey? Yes, of course we are doing market survey. Now, to be very honest, market survey is a very broader answer. When you say market survey, could you be more specific on that? In the sense like, of course, any manufacturer, anyone who is trying to sell the product will do the market survey. An iPhone being sold at 1 lakh rupees, and but when iPhone has entered the market, pretty much most of the mobile phones were selling at like 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees, or even 40,000 rupees for you for that matter. But these iPhones are almost like 3x, 4x costlier than already available mobile phones in the market, right? So even then, when they have arrived and when they have done the market survey, the market survey would have given them an answer indicating that most of the people, the tendency of spending money is around 40K, right? That's how the market survey would have done. I can't understand what is market survey can come after, can come or after. So I don't understand. Maybe. So as I already told you, if I've done a market survey, the market survey would have given me an answer like the expenditure of each and individual person is around 40,000 rupees. That is the maximum anyone is willing to pay for a mobile phone. That's the pretty much the range. When having known that this is the range, this is the uh, uh, expenditure or like a willingness to pay or buy a product, still having known that I'm pricing my product at like 1 lakh rupees and people are buying the product at 1 lakh rupees. So what is that given the confidence to the manufacturer stating that like okay, I can price my product at 1 lakh rupees? What is that? Of course, what all the other parameters we will consider is that the bill of materials, what kind of components am I using it while I'm manufacturing a product, including tiny bit, little bit of pieces. Also, I'll try to consider the entire equipment cost involved in that, the manufacturing facility cost, human resources cost, operating cost. I mean, the fixed and variable cost put together, everything will be considered before pricing a product, right? All this will be considered. Even having considered that, like on an approximation basis, let me be say for example, if we consider this iPhone itself, the bill of materials, they provide services what customer want. Okay, that is after sales. What that is, of course, it's there. And so having considered these are the components being used in the manufacturing manufacturing an iPhone, and there is a cost involved there. And there is a delivery cost involved in that. There is a distribution cost involved in that. There is a showroom cost. That is the front face where I'm selling my product. There is a cost involved there. And I'm summing up everything together. That comes to like, say, for example, 40,000, 50,000 rupees. On top of that, I will add my profit margin. That profit margin will be like 20 to 30% or even 40% for that matter. Even having doing so, the cost of the product will not go beyond like 60,000, 70,000 rupees. But still, the product is sold at 1 lakh rupees. Why? The reason behind is that the product, of course, we need to consider all this bill of materials, operating costs, fixed costs, variable costs, everything together before arriving at a price point. And knowing that, what pretty much most of us does is that more often or not, this is what I see in the startup ecosystem with my startups also. How do they arrive at the price point is that considering this bill of materials, and they also try to see what is already available in the market. That is called as competitive analysis. Doing a competitive analysis, I know that Nokia is giving this phone at this price and Samsung is giving this phone at this price, and there are so many other manufacturers who are giving, and this is the price point. Hence, I'm arriving at a price point, adding my profit to that. That's how generally we do a math. That is unit economics, right? But how we generally wanted to do is that, having considering all the bill of materials, how we have to price a product is that we also need to consider the value prop which I'm offering to the customers. I have to list all the value proposition which I'm giving to the customers. Say, for example, I got a answer saying that good quality, right? When I say good quality, how do we monetize that? Right? Good quality is a generic term, but how much monetization, how much amount I can add on top of good quality, how much amount I can add on top of security, how much amount I can add on top of like privacy, how much amount I can add on top of the design. So these are the value propositions which is generally being offered by a iPhone, right? Whenever you see an iPhone, what is that they are communicating to you? They're not communicating about the design, right? They're not communicating about the durability of the product. They're not communicating about the battery, right? But what is that they are differentiating themselves with other competitors? They say privacy. Privacy is the one which I ensure that all the iPhone users will get rather than anyone else. So that is the value they say like the customer will need or the customer are willing to pay. Now, when I say privacy, that is my security, right? My own data. I don't want to leak my data to anyone, right? Now, that value is enormous. That value is immense. And when I say my privacy is not leaked, as a customer, what I feel, fine, my privacy is not leaked. So how much is the product? That is how the entire mentality or the mindset of the customers, right? So I need to trigger that. I need to find that point which 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 says like my customer is willing to pay, though the bill of materials, though the components involved in that, though the manufacturing cost is involved is only 40,000 rupees, but the value I'm offering to my customers is immense, is enormous. Hence, my customer is willing to pay 1 lakh rupees. That is how you have to do the unit economics, not based on the bill of material. Of course, you have to do the bill of materials, but on top of that, what is the value prop I'm giving to my customers? And I have to put a kind of rupees or like dollars in each of the value proposition I'm giving or offering to the customers. How much monetization I can add to the security, how much value I can add to this quality, how much value I can add to the customer service. Rightly be pointed out. What is that? I mean, I'm getting a proper customer service. That is after sales. After once the sales is done, I'm ensuring that like if something goes wrong in the product, also there is a team who is able to take care of that, and that is called as after sales. After sales cost, and that cost being offered to you. So I'm arriving all this put together, and I'm saying like this is my cost. And that's why even it is priced at a higher range, even people are ready to buy the product. And that is what the value proposition is all about. So value proposition is not only helping you in understanding what is the product which is fitting in the market, by understanding the problems already in the market, by understanding what kind of features or services I can offer to that, but also this value prop will help you in like identifying what is the price I can tag to my product. So that is what is this value proposition is all about. Now, having said that, this is from the manufacturer end. As a startup, as a founder, Now I know this is the value I'm providing to my customer. I know this is the bill of materials. I know this is why I'm pricing my product at this point, and I know my customers will be ready to buy this product, right? Now, this is one way of doing this. The other thing is, like as I mentioned, this is from the startup side. Now we talked about the customer side. The next aspect is the investor side. Investor will have its own way of assessing things, right? If you go and say to an investor stating that my product may have privacy, my product will have so many so-called value propositions, and my customer is willing to pay, that is not the value prop an investor is looking for. Though your product has, this is the value being offered to the customer, but what is the value you're offering to the investor is something different, right? The customer is willing to pay you because you're providing this many features or this many value proposition to him. Why do the investor needs to put in money into your account? Why is that? So there should be some value being provided to an investor. The investor is not very keen on whether what is the value proposition you are offering to the customer. It is there. It is essential for him. It is also essential for him to understand the technology that is there, but that is not the value he is looking for. The value of all the what he is looking for is the projections. What is that? You are, I mean, when likely you're gonna make the revenue? When likely you're gonna say like you're gonna give him the exit. Exit is that, like, say for example, if an investor is willing to pay you $1 million now, what is that he's going to get in 3 years? Is it 3x or 4x or 7x or 10x multiples? Like four times what has been invested is what is going to get out of your organization. Is it what is the value you are offering to him, and what else is it that you are offering to him? You need to be very precise on like creating an entire pitch deck accordingly. So all we suggest to the startups is like prepare two different kind of decks. One is for the customer and one is for the investor. By jolting down the kind of value proposition you're offering to the customers, you can arrive at the price point, and you can also understand what market segment you're trying to understand. The other thing is like while jolting down all those things to the investor, be in the shoes of the investor, try to understand what exactly you wanted to hear from you. What exactly is that he will be excited upon. It is everyone is trying to raise investments, right? And it is not all the startups is getting invested at all. Only few handful of startups are getting invested. Why so? Because the investor needs to see the josh or the excitement in the startup, right? And he also needs to travel along with the startup. So end of the day, the startup success or the inventor or the manufacturer or the as a founder, your success will be determined on the revenues you're making as well as the kind of returns you're planning to give to the investor. So that is what I'm trying to say. And food for thought, you can also try to understand when I say this value proposition, different angles, and say like in e-commerce industry or in automobile industry, you can also try to understand why. I mean, I believe most of you heard about a cafe called Rameshwaram, right? Rameshwaram Cafe in Bangalore, which is pretty much in the news all over. And I believe they are making a turnover of close to 5 crores per month. That's the revenue of cafe, and that cafe is only 400 square feet. It is not a restaurant. It is not a dining kind of place. It's just a 400 square feet place where they are making a revenue of close to 5 crores month on month. And there are so many other restaurants also available. And why I chose this as an example is because a restaurant is a conventional business. There is no uniqueness involved in that. There is no innovation involved in that. Whatever those I'm going to make, that this one can be replicated by anyone else also. Knowing that factor, why is it Rameshwaran Cafe was so successful? They were able to make 5 crores per month. And how is that they are able to retain their customers? There are so many giants already available in the market. Please think through that and work on that. You may get an answer like why is that, and that is how the kind of value proposition they are offering to the customers. What is the value they are offering to the customers, which other restaurants fail to do so, and what is the kind of business model they are adapting. It is a very lean business model. I mean, to give an example, I read it somewhere in a business article, like they keep the kitchen very lean in the sense like they don't offer multiple cuisines, they don't offer multiple dishes to you. So by doing so, what they are what they are able to achieve is that they're keeping their inventory very fresh, and they're able to deliver the food items or the orders on time. So that is, I'm not expanding my menu item at all. I'm limiting my menu item. I know this is what I'm going to give to my customer. I know like I'm ensuring the quality of that particular menu item alone, and I'm taking this forward from there. So that is the beauty and that is the success of the value prop being offered to the customers, and customers are ready. See, there is no dining at all, but you can see people standing in queues even like late night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and they are ready to buy the product, and they haven't reduced the price of the product at all. The price of the product is at par to a kind of middle-aged restaurant. They haven't reduced it. They are not giving dosas at 40 bucks or 50 bucks. They are at par with whatever the competitors are giving. Still, customers are paying them because they are seeing value what is being offered to them. Okay, so that's it. I have what I'll do is like after this, I will also share a template of how to do this value proposition. And whenever you guys find time, you can sit along with your team members. And this value proposition canvas cannot be done individually because, as I mentioned, different perspectives, different customers' views is very much important while you're doing so. So sit as a team and brainstorm a lot, try to put everything in together in the boxes, try to see whether you are able to make the market, I mean product market fit, trying to understand whether your product fits into the market or not, what is that you exactly wanted to provide to the market, and later you can arrive at the uh, price point also. So most of you are aware this value proposition is very essential while you're building a prototype itself, because like you may have an idea, then you have a POC, where like you are validating your idea, you are trying to bring a proof of concept to that, and then you go for the prototype. When you do the prototype itself, you do the value proposition. By gelling this value proposition along with a prototype, you can have a beautiful MVP. Once you have that MVP, you try to do some beta tests with the customers, try to get their feedbacks, improvise your product, and then you enter your market. So that's how the entire life cycle of the startup works. And this is very, 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 very important. So that's it from my end. I know, as I already mentioned, this is a very short pitch what I'm going to do. And this is a uh, use case kind of a session, and I want participants to involve in this and be a very interactive session. So if any one of you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer the questions. That can be with your product also. If you say like, this is my product, and I think like this is the value proposition I'm offering to the customers. And if you want to brainstorm with me, I'm happy to do so. Another 10 minutes. So that's it from me. Any questions? Anyone, any questions? See, this is the challenge, right? After the lunch, whenever you get onto your session, this is the challenge. Any questions? No questions? Okay, fine. Anyways, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kishore. It was a very wonderful session. I think everyone, participants are gained some knowledge. So you can reach out him in case if you have any. I mean, you can reach out us in case if you have any doubts and clarifications. We'll help you out on this. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you. And participants, please stay online. The next session is about to start. So Mr. Santana Kumar will join anytime. Please wait.
Am I audible?
Oh, Dr. Santana Kumar, sir.
Yes. Am I audible?
So my voice is audible, sir.
Yes, yes. Your voice is audible.
Okay, shall we start, sir?
Yes.
1 second, sir. Yeah. So very good afternoon to all. Once again, I welcome you all for the 4th day of technology-based entrepreneurship development program in aquaculture, sponsored by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The second session handled by Dr. J. Santana Kumar, sir. Sir is currently working as a scientific officer in National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai. Dr. J. Santana Kumar, sir, has completed his doctorate in ocean studies and marine biology at Pondicherry University and master's in coastal aquaculture at CAS at Annamalai University. He has more than 24 years of experience in various aspects of aquaculture sectors. Particularly, he has the experience in spatial-temporal survey on species like spiny lobster landing in Gulf of Mannar region, larval railing studies in rock lobster and mud crabs, designing of aqua silviculture in tidal fed ponds for mud crab patterning, environmental impact assessment studies pertaining to coastal environments in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, design, fabrication, and deployment of offshore cages suitable to Indian coastal conditions, designing of open sea nursery cages for commercially important marine finfish seeds, and successful implementation of nursery rearing in offshore cages, taxonomy, identification, and biodiversity assessments of marine finfishes, zooplankton, and intertidal invertebrates. With this background, I welcome once again Dr. J. Santana Kumar, sir, for delivering the topic of cage aquaculture as a profitable business. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. I'm very much thankful for this wonderful opportunity to deliver our successful experiences and some outcomes we learned from open sea cage culture activities. After all these things, with full confidence, we can tell open sea cage culture is a profitable business in Indian condition also. So in this introduction, I will start my presentation. First of all, this year we got one favorable positive things that our parliament approved open sea cage culture. Last paragraph you can see, last point. Open sea cage culture and CVD culture is allowed by Parliament of India for our development. So coastal farmers can involve in open sea cage culture also. Initially, it was not allowed. So only with the help of self-help groups and of a local fisheries department only we can do. But this due to this amendment, we got opportunity to start our cage culture system in our nearshore condition also. Why we are so preference of fish only is forcing us towards farming also. So there are many points fishers having. It is forcing us to consume. Okay, it is not forcing; it is attracting us. The fish meat is attracting us towards for its consumption. Exactly, nutrition and availability, affordability, accessibility, quality, tradition, all these things are jointly attracting towards fish.
Sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yes, please.
So I think slide is not moving, sir.
Not moving.
Yes, sir.
So at present, I'm in third slide.
No, sir. I think it's showing first slide only, sir. So cage aquaculture is a profitable business. Front slide is only visible, sir.
How it is not? We uploaded. Now?
No, sir. Sir, once again, you can reshare it, sir. So close the PPT and you can reshare it, sir.
Okay. It's okay
Yes, sir. It's visible now, but it's not moving, sir.
now.
No, sir.
Please 1 minute.
No, sir. It's showing first slide only, sir. So, please close the entire PPT, then open again, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's moving, sir. So go to the full screen mode, sir. Yes, sir.
Slide move ஆகுதுங்களா?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, in our presentation, second slide, second slide.
Yes, sir.
So here,
Yes.
we got a positive signal from Government of India. Our Parliament approved open sea cage culture for our traditional fish farmers for their development, and along with seaweed culture also it approved. Okay, but it should be environmental friendly manner. Okay, so this is our one of our positive point from Government of India. So hereafter even traditional farmers can enter into open sea cage culture activity also. So again, it is not moving.
Yes, sir. It's moving, sir.
Yes. So
Yes, sir.
Fish is having many positive things. So fish meat. So that's why we are showing attraction towards the fish. So its nutritional value and affordability and its quality and even its medical value. So combining all these things is determining our fish meat eating habits. Okay. In another side, world population is increasing, but we have reached what is it? We reached some saturation level. There is no further possibility of capture fisheries. So anyhow, we have to go for culture fisheries only. So since we understood these things, now our culture activity is increasing. This is the only hope we have to. Anyhow, we have to go for culture industries. Here we can see that slide. This blue line is showing our capture fisheries. Okay, but aquaculture is increasing trend, showing increasing trend. So due to aquaculture increasing trend, this total capture total fish production also is increasing. Okay. Again, it is having some issue. Sir, next slide is visible.
Yes, sir, visible, sir. I think go to the
sir,
previous
I
slide.
think
Sir.
some issue is it is having some issue. Anyhow, I am continuing.
Okay, okay, sir.
Our present demand is 6.53 million tons. Okay, it will extend up to 8.48 million tons. There is no hope in India. There is no hope for further production in capture fisheries. Anyhow, even in Indian condition also, we have to go for aquaculture only. But land-based aquaculture is having conflict with agriculture. Okay, to overcome this conflict, we have to go for sea-based culture, mariculture activities. Even if it is possible, means nearshore culture. If any conflict with the fishermen, means we have to go for offshore culture. So anyhow, we have to find suitable place. Means away from cyclone. That it should be away from cyclone route. So that kind of place we have to select. That area we have to go for open sea cage culture. Open sea cage culture is having many advantages. Okay, even in small unit area, we could produce more than 30 kg per meter cube. But in case of land-based culture system, we can produce up to 1 or 2 kg per meter cube only. Okay, volume is very less. Every day we have to pump water. All these things we have to. This is money and time-consuming process. But in cage culture aspect, all these things are not required. Our cage system will provide a similar kind of environment like sea. So fish will grow. Fish will feel their own environment feelings. So it will grow better than land-based systems. Open sea cage culture activity is interaction of three different departments. That is, one is biological. Biological aspect we have to consider, and the engineering aspect means designing of cage, the durability of cage. All these things we have to consider. And another one is socio-economic. Fishermen has to accept. Fishermen or entrepreneurs or local people have to accept, and it should be free from conflict. Means trawling fishermen, they will oppose. Actually, they will oppose for cage culture activities. All these things need to be managed. So that's why the combination of all these three aspects only we can do cage culture activity. Again, in Indian scenario, we are seeing this blue bar is our capture fishery. Here also we reached full saturation. There is no further growth in capture fishery. So this red bar is increasing trend aquaculture. So due to this aquaculture in India also producing, now increasing its production. Now we are standing in second position in culture fisheries. India, we have almost 2.02 square kilometer EEZ, in which if we are using at least 1% of hello. Hello.
Sir, carry on, sir, please.
In Indian total Indian EEZ, if we could able to use at least 1% of the nearshore region, we could deploy almost 8,20,000 of cages, but by which we can produce 3.2 million tons. Okay, even our cage culture itself, it will fulfill our 50% of the fish demand. So cage culture is having very big scope to meet our demand. So we have to consider the cage culture is a better entrepreneurship plan. For cage culture activity, we have to consider many parameters in which we are dividing them into two. One is suitable for our cage culture system, and another set of parameters for our species, for which species we are growing. So for our cage culture system, we have to consider depth, sea surface current, significant wave height, wind speed. So based on the depth, we have to decide our mooring pattern. Based on sea surface current, we have to strengthen our cage culture system. Based on significant wave height, we can provide our cushion effect for raising and downing of cage system. And the wind speed. And another thing, wind speed is, we have to consider wind speed for protecting surface components which is available above the water level. Those things we can decide according to the wind speed. In case of biological parameters, total suspended matters, if it is more beyond the threshold level, it will create a gill choking issue. And temperature, you know very well, optimum temperature will provide better growth. If it is increasing by 1 degree also, more than optimum level, it will affect the feed consumption and growth, stress, everything will depending on optimum temperature only. So we have to consider the range of temperature available in our selecting area. Similarly, salinity. For if we are going for stenohaline fish, means this is narrow range salinity tolerance, means 25 to 32 ppt, means those kind of fishes, it will grow in only open sea condition. Some fishes, in case of sea bass, it is brackish water fish. It is having wide range of tolerance. Even though it is having wide range of tolerance, but it is having preference to grow in brackish water condition only. So in case of sea bass cage culture, we have to keep cages in brackish water environment, like deep estuarine-like systems. Similarly, DO. Some fishes like cobia and mahi, those fishes are oceanic fishes. It will always, they will prefer to stay in surface and column water. Okay, they are active swimmers. They want more dissolved oxygen level. So these things we have to consider. In case of grouper and sea bass or sole fishes, those fishes are all less active fishes. So they won't prefer that much oxygen, dissolved oxygen level in the water. Similarly, chlorophyll. So one area is better productive area means that chlorophyll content is in better level, optimum level. So that also we have to consider. And for transportation of materials to market and everything, and for fabrication, everything, this cage culture site should be nearer to port for easy deployment and operation culture activities. There are 18 types of cages available, in which people are based on our experience and people experience. Only this 4 case system is widely practiced. Sorry. One is gravity cages, that is floating type. Second one is anchor tensed cages. Third one is self-tensioned and submersible type cages. Third is rigid cages. The last one is pen type of culture, that is settled in bottom. The third one is submersible, when rough sea, based on the wave height, the cage system will submerge into the column water, so that bigger waves and cyclone system won't affect. So that's why this submersible cage is under progress. And third type is self-tensioned, means this is a brackish water condition. These cages are widely practiced. The first one is gravity cages, circular gravity cages. This is suitable for oceanic open sea cage culture system. This is widely practiced in offshore condition. NIOT initially started with lobster fattening cages in Rameswaram, Tharvaikulam, even in Andaman. Yeah, all these areas we started with lobster fattening cages. With this experience only, we entered further open sea cage culture system. See, I have some issue. Sorry for inconvenience. I will find better
So I think slide is not moving, sir.
Yes, now
Yes.
it's okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your patience and sorry for inconvenience.
No problem, sir.
To check our case system,
Now, participants, sorry for the inconvenience. Please stay in the meeting. I think Dr. Santana Kumar sir has facing some unstable internet connections, so he'll be joining soon. Okay.
ஹலோ, இஷ்யூ அங்கதான் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So again, some technical issue has started. So now it is solved, I think so. So we deployed 3 different kind of environments. One is semi-protected cage system, semi-protected site. Other one is open sea condition. Third one is well-protected bay. So in all these 3 systems, we selected to check the durability of our cage system and the compatibility of our fishes, how they are growing in the cage system, any growth issue. To study all these things, we selected 3 different kind of system sites, in which we found North Bay, the last one is well-protected bay, is suitable for fish. Okay, but that Kottachatram, the open sea condition and semi-protected bay, we found some difficulties due to the cyclone. We got frequent damages of our cage frames. Mooring system are not getting, they did not get any affected, but our floating systems got a little problem. And similarly, in semi-protected bay, it is very shallow region. Due to rise of temperature in water condition, it is showing slower growth in fishes. So after all our experience, we observed cage culture system. It need a better water flow and sufficient depth, and it should be away from frequent cyclone and very heavy wave height. So all these things we have to consider. We use one software, that is Aquaculture. Initially, we will get all the parameters of the site selected for cage deployment. We will incorporate all the data. Then we will simulate the parameters in computer software. Based on that, the site is how much suitable, how we have to strengthen the mooring system. All these things we will calculate. Accordingly, we will design our cage system, and we will go for deploy. So anyhow, after all these things, we have to consider about fish preference also, whether this site is suitable for fish. Every day we can go for feeding. If a rough cyclone comes means we cannot go for feeding. So that time it will affect the fish growth. Even even the well-grown fish also, if we are not feeding for 2 days, that their weight loss will be heavy. So we have to consider all these things. Here we can see our simulation, how the cage system is moving. So accordingly, we will strengthen the mooring system. Here we can see our mooring pattern. This is not a simple single point mooring. We are using multi-point mooring. Here this ring, here we are seeing only surface, that floating part only, but 85% of the cost is below the water only. That's why our system is very strong. It is highly suitable for open sea condition. Anyhow, all cage system is having some issues. Similar way, we are also having some issues due to this cyclone condition, because our tropical environment is prone for cyclone issues. So we have to strengthen our mooring systems. Here another one thing I want to tell, if we are using one cage means we have to use 8 anchors. Okay, but when we are going for adding series of cages means our usage of anchor and mooring components will be very less. It is one profitable methodology for cage culture operation. When we are using more cage system, we can reduce our mooring cost, because mooring cost is almost 80% of our deployment cost. This is our floating components. Here we can see that is HDP pipe, high density polyethylene pipe, that is 11 mm thickness, in which we have to insert this styrofoam thermocol rod, means styrofoam roll we have to enter. If any damages happens means it won't allow water enter into the pipe, so we can maintain the buoyancy. Here this is bracket. This will hold the pipe system, circular pipes, and this one is grid buoy, which is 330-liter capacity to hold the grid system. Here the specifications of our components. Depending upon the soil condition, we have to decide our anchoring system. First one is pile anchor. Shallow brackish water environment, estuarine environment means we can go for pile anchors. Deadweight anchors and all are used in mainly the sandy, silty, clay system, because in this area, if we are deploying our costly metallic anchor means we cannot retrieve. So in this area, we have to use only deadweight anchor system. Metallic anchor is 30,000 means deadweight anchors and all 10,000, some 5,000, 7,000, we can make deadweight anchors. So here also we can consider our economical things. So according to the soil condition, we can select our anchoring system. If when we are going for metallic anchor means, if soil means we can if further if we want to shift our case system somewhere means we can go for this metallic anchors. It is easily we can retrieve from the sandy bottom. So according to the soil condition, we can select our anchoring system. This is the only case system. This anchoring system we are using for our mooring, and another 3 components also is there. That is bow shackle, and a stud-link chain. Another one is collector ring. These are the three things we are using.
Sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yes.
So I
please.
think again the slide is not moving, sir.
Now?
No, sir.
No.
It's showing only on cage design and analysis only, sir.
Here.
No, sir. Still it's not moving, sir.
Where that animated video?
No, sir. No, sir.
After that?
Yes, sir. After that, it's showing only on cage design and analysis slide, sir. It's showing on cage design and analysis. 14th slide is showing, sir.
14th slide. What is the issue, sir? I could not recognize.
We are seeing only on 14th slide, sir.
Now?
No, sir.
Now, sir?
No, sir. No, sir. Still not moving, sir.
I don't know why it is, sir. Sir, can I share? It is not possible.
So otherwise, you can send it to me. Sir. Email. I will share it, sir.
Okay. Sorry. The participants can please. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm sharing. It was showing, then for me it is moving.
No, sir. No, sir. For us, it's not able to see, sir. Still, it's showing on 14th slide only, sir.
Now it's moving, sir?
No, sir.
No.
Yeah, now it's moving, sir, but it's showing only on 12th slide, sir. I think
now it is moving. Now it is moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But showing on 11th slide, sir.
Sir, zoom. Absolutely. Sorry, sir. Sir, now it is moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now that animated video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is on 16th slide, sir.
Okay, so we are seeing that now pipes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So these are all the pipes we are using. This is HDP pipe, high density polyethylene pipe. This is almost equal to water. It won't sink and it won't float also. Once the air is packed, then it will float on surface. Otherwise, it won't go down also. So anyhow, if to maintain the buoyancy, we are inserting that white thermocol rolls. If any damages are happening, means it won't allow to sink. Okay. The another one is bracket to hold the pipe. And this orange buoy is 330 liter to maintain the grid system and subsurface condition. Okay. These are all the components, specification of our cage components. And I think we have discussed anchor system. So in brackish water environment, shallow condition, we can use pile anchors. Pile anchor means inserting pole and we can tie the net. This type of cage system, for shallow cages, we can use piles. And dead weight system and silty, clayey bottom condition, we can use dead weight. Because if when we are using metallic anchor, means metallic anchor is almost 30,000 rupees. So this dead weight we can make up to within 10,000 or 5,000 rupees. Okay, so we cannot retrieve the dead weight, but metallic anchor we can retrieve. We can use some other place. That's why we are using these metallic anchors in sandy soil or rocky condition. In those areas, we are using metallic anchors. So now cage mooring system. Slide is moving now, sir. Hello, sir. Slide is moving.
Yes, sir. It is moving.
Okay, okay. This is we are using this type of anchor, only metallic anchor. It is 250 kg. It can hold up to 75 tons water force. Okay, so that's why we are preferring this type of model. Along with this, we are using stud link chain. To connect a stud link chain, we are using omega shackles. And to connect a rope and a stud link chain, we are using a polypropylene rope protected with the thimble. All these things are, all these mooring components are joining in one collector ring. So we are using all these components for our Pakka multi-point mooring system. In shore, we are preparing our grid system and transporting the grid system and positioning grid system only with big trawler with 1.5 ton winch. With this only we can do this positioning of grid system, then deploying our cage frames. These are all the 4 sites we deployed cages in open sea condition. This is the only in this condition is this third slide, this third picture. It is available in North Bay. We will get 20 meter, 30 meter, even 40 meter depth also within 1 kilometer from the shore. But in Chennai or in some other area, after traveling 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers only, we can get 40 meter depth. But even in case of Andaman, we will get 20 meter depth in half kilometer distance itself. That's why Andaman is always preferable for a cage culture system. Andaman still it is having pristine water quality. It is very, very suitable for a cage system. In future, Andaman will provide more fishes produced from cages. That is 100% sure. For cage system, in India, we are preferring cobia. And nearly some 42 fishes are there for cage culture system, in which salmon and trout are majorly cultured fishes in cages, open sea condition. But in tropical condition, cobia is the main species for open sea condition. in nearshore condition and all, sea bass, grouper, and red breams and all are used cultured in nearshore conditions. Okay, here we can see some subadult fish and larvae. Larvae is like so not larvae, fingerlings. Fingerling like worm like things only. After getting better nutrition and attaining better growth only, it will show us. It will look like some better grown fish. So, but initially it is like worm only. Similarly, this is sea bass. This is mainly used in brackish water condition and nearshore cages. So while selecting sea bass, we have to consider some in seed stage itself. We have to carefully watch some deformities in vertebrates and bend vertebra. If deformities in vertebra, we have to omit those kind of seeds. So we have to see that uniform size of seeds. All these things is for better protection. This is Pampano. This is also suitable for nearshore condition, but this seed also is having this kind of deformities. This dorsal fin region, and some fishes is having some ventral fin region, and some fishes are having both dorsal and ventral fin region also. So all these things we have to carefully watch. If a major percentage of the fishes or considerable percentage of fishes are having this kind of deformities, means these fishes won't grow and we won't get better growth rate, better production. So we have to consider all these things while selecting the seed. So after selecting the seed, we are doing nursery rearing. Actually, open sea cage culture system, it is suitable for either 50-gram size seed or 100-gram size seed. But for transportation, if we are transporting 100-gram size seed, means only one seed per package we can transport. But when we are transporting smaller fishes, 5-gram or 2-gram, 3-gram size fish, means we can transport up to 20 to 25 fishes in single package. So here we can reduce when we are following this method, we can reduce transportation expenditure. Okay, so to minimize transportation expenditure, we found a methodology, that is in cage inside the open sea cage itself. We are deploying nursery cages in which we are stocking smaller fishes. Even 2-gram size fish also we can stock in this condition. If water current outside the water current is 100 centimeter per second, means inside the cage it will be 80 centimeter per second. Again, inside this nursery cage means it will be almost 25 to 30 centimeter per second. So this mild water current will provide conducive environment for this smaller fish growth. So that's why we are opting this nursery rearing system in open sea condition, by which we got up to 90%, 90 to 95% survival. So we are now itself. So after finding this methodology, we are following this methodology only. Sorry. So while selecting seed, we have to consider the following aspect. It should be free from pathogen and pollutants. The source water itself free from pathogen and pollutants. Healthy and clear, smooth skin without any fin loss, scale loss, and any wounds. All fishes should move actively. If any fishes are showing any lethargic movement or a slow movement, means we should avoid that seed procurement. And even active fishes also we have to consider, we have to see under microscope and gill region if any parasites or any lesions are there, microscopic lesions are there, that we have to carefully check, and we have to test the fishes, any potential pathogen infection is there or not. And another one thing, uniform size we have to consider. If size variation is more, means that bigger fishes will take more feed, and smaller fishes won't get opportunity to take feed, and this smaller fishes will remain smaller only till the harvest. So we have to consider uniform size, then all the fishes will get opportunity to take feed. So that's why we have to consider the size uniformity as important things. And while selecting fish, we have to check its gut region. If it is active, means if it feel hungry properly, means if it is fed properly, means that gut should be full. If it is not, if it is affected with any pathogen, means it won't take feed. So all these things we have to check properly. So full gut means it is good fish. That also we have to consider as a valid point. Small scale fishermen, they will prefer to use trash fish as feed, but trash fish is considered as a poor man feed. So that's why most of the experts are suggesting the usage of trash fish for cage culture system is not a good practice. That trash fish we are getting spoiled fish also, that also will affect the healthiness of the fish. It will affect the production and it may lead to the loss. So that's why formulated feed is suitable for our cage culture system. Weaning of fishes for formulated feed is highly preferable. So we have to consider always formulated feed. So in formulated feed, based on our species culture, the protein content, fat content, ash content, everything will vary. But this cobia, sea bass and all carnivorous fish, they need proteinaceous feed with more protein content, meaning with more protein content. If cobia means it should be 45 to 50% of the protein. Okay, then it will show better growth. That another one thing is, even protein means it is not, it should not be plant-based protein. It's mostly it should be animal, that too fish meal based protein. So fish meal based protein means the attractants will be more and we will get better FCR. Okay, we have to consider all these things. We have to, here FCR means feed conversion ratio. How much feed intake, how much weight gain, that is the only thing. If we are giving 2 kg feed, means if we are getting only half kg growth, means it is not a good feed. Okay, when we are giving 1.5 kg or 1 kg feed, means we have to get at least 1 kg of biomass, means muscle growth. Then it will be considered as a better feed. If FCR is more than 2 or 2.5, means it is that feed is we have to avoid that feed. It will end in loss only. So we have to consider the FCR based on our experience only. We can finalize which one is better feed. At present, we are using imported feed only. That to imported brand. Now Skretting, Lucky Star, all these companies are they started their production here, but we are getting better growth in those feeds. And another one thing is when not to feed. Okay, when we are sampling, that time we should not go for feeding. Okay, sampling time or after feeding, we have planned for sampling, means that time we should not feed. After intake, when we are disturbing fish, means it will vomit the feed. It will vomit the feed. It will spoil the environment, and it will, our feed also it will go as waste. That's why during sampling or transportation, we should avoid the feeding. And even during cooler temperature and raining time also, we should avoid the feeding. If temperature high means poor dissolved oxygen content means that time fishes won't prefer to take feed. Okay, so that time also we have to avoid feed. If we are observing poor feeding means we will get a feed wastage, and wasted feed will accumulate in the bottom. It will spoil the environment. So feed management is a very, very important thing. That is very, very big chapter, big aspect in cage culture thing. So that we have to consider a lot. These are all the harvest we got before this COVID things. After COVID, we didn't get a proper opportunity to for our cage culture things. Only our experimental studies are going in Andaman and Rameswaram region. At present, we deployed cages in near Goa, Kumta, but fishes are growing. But some fishermen conflict has come. Fishermen, they opposed. So due to this opposition, we stopped our cage culture system. That's so due to all these things, it reached to our parliament level, and they approved our cage culture system also is suitable. It is suitable culture system for our nearshore condition. So hereafter, we have to think positively. We will get more positive signal from government for expansion of cage culture activity. After based on our experience, this cobia, we got better result. That is, in one day, it can grow up to 15.4 gram in a day itself. This fish, it will reach in 4 months, in 8 months, it will reach up to 4 kg size. That is the one good thing in fish cobia. But in case of sea bass, parrotfish, and milkfish, we are not getting that much growth. Okay, but we found in another one fish is there, mahi, that is dolphin fish, Corypinus hippurus. The cage culture of that fish is not yet started, but its growth is up to 30 gram per day. Okay, 30 gram per day. This is the fastest growing fish available in tropical environment. So NIOT is having plan to attempt that fish also. If we are achieving that fish, it will give more profit in cage culture system. Even 6 to 7 months itself, you will get up to 7 or 8 kg size of that fish. Okay. These are our trainings we conducted, and we are giving hands-on training to fishermen. And submersible cage systems, we are trying another kind of submersible cage system. This is spherical cage system. In cage system, fouling in net is a big issue. Frequent changing of net is highly important. To avoid, to minimize the fouling, is a copper sulfate coated, anti-fouling paint coated nets are available. But even though anti-fouling paint are used, those nets also in 2 months, 3 months only it can avoid the fouling. After leaching of this anti-fouling paints, again this fouling organisms such as lepas and filamentous algae and barnacles, all those things are attaching. So frequent cleaning and changing of net is highly essential for profitable culture. For profitable culture, we have to consider many things. First one is indigenization. Initially, NIOT and even RGCA, they imported the components from abroad, mainly from Turkey, Taiwan, from those countries. But when we are we are producing those materials from here means we can reduce the cost up to 25%. Here itself, when we are reducing capital investment, the major portion of the capital investment is we are gaining. Okay. And another one is what kind of fish we are using, what net we are going, means that is also need to be considered. For surface dwelling fish means we can minimize the depth of the net, by which we can reduce the net cost. And another important thing is knotted net and knotless net. Knotless net, there is no knot at all. So knot means it will consume some portion of the rope or twine. It will increase the weight, and it will increase the cost of the net also. So always we have to go for knotless net. Okay, that is one important thing. For bottom dwelling fish, shallow region like shallow regions like brackish water environment or near shore environment, that area, if you are using nets, shallow nets, by which also we can reduce the usage of net material. Selection of site-specific components. Here, in open sea condition means we have to provide a strong mooring system. The similar kind of mooring system when we are providing in near shore and protected bay means unnecessary wastage of components and the expenditure. So according to the site, we have to design our mooring system by which we can reduce the usage of components, and we can reduce the expenditure also. Similar way, circular. If wind is more means we have to go for circular kind of cage, and if it is not, if calm area means we can go for square type cage. And if wavy and rough area means we have to use number of brackets. If calm area means we can reduce a number of brackets, by which also we can reduce cost. Similarly, we have to consider water current and depth. Based on all parameters, we can reduce the, either we can design the mooring system by we can increase our mooring expenditure, or we can reduce the expenditure. So according to the site condition, we have to follow the mooring pattern also. In case of economics, we have to consider two major points are there. One is capital cost, another one is operation cost. Capital cost is one is cage components, in which mooring components and net components, and other one is cage fabrication and deployment cost, and another one is operating boats and scuba equipments. In cage components, nearly 27 cage components are there. Okay, so combination of all these things, we can fabricate better cage system. And mooring components are major components, that is almost 80% of the capital cost falls on mooring components only. PP ropes, studding chains, D-shackles, collector ring, and grid rope, buoy system. All these things should be strong enough to hold our net and floating pipes. So that's why we have to consider, we have to invest more in mooring components. Then another one is cage fabrication. That is based on availability of local fishermen, and one technical expert is enough for to carry out all this fabrication and deployment. At present, NIOT is using local fishermen only for all the deployment aspects, and operating boat every day. Operating boat every day we have to 2 times we have to go for feeding and checking of our cage system. And the scuba diving equipment is highly essential to check the damage of our net system. If any small damage is there, means we have to rectify. Otherwise, it will it will lead to further damage, and escaping of fishes will happen. So, scuba dive equipment is highly essential for our cage culture aspects. In case of operation cost, seed packing, that fish seed packing, transportation, stocking, and feed. In feed, 2 categories are there: nursery feed and growth feed. Nursery feed, it is almost 500 to 900 rupees per kg is available. So based on the cost, we are getting result. 900 rupees feed is giving better result than 500 rupees feed. So for better survival, healthiness of the fish, we have to go for better feed. So according to our economics production plan, we have to invest quality of nursery feed. Similar way, growth feed also. Even 100 rupees also feed is available, and 150 rupees feed also is available. So obviously 150 rupees feed per kg is giving a better result than 100 rupees per kg. So we have to consider all these things. And another third point is land-based operation cost. Land-based means we have to make a storage system for feed and stay accommodation facility for laborers. All these things we have to consider. All these things comes under land-based operation cost. And sea-based operation cost is procurement of boat, engine, and laborers who are all working in sea. Those things considered as sea-based operation cost. So we are categorizing expenditure. Cage components, cost for cage components for in case of 10 meter diameter, almost this is indigenously produced cage components. At present, abroad market is almost 10 lakhs per cage system. Now we are reduced. Initially, during 2018 and all, it was 6.7 lakhs only. Now it is this market rate is increasing. Now it is reached almost 8 lakhs per cage, and the cost per cage cage fabrication and deployment is per cage is 37,250 rupees, and the cost for boat and scuba equipments is 92,000 per system. Sorry. In case of operation cost, seed cost including packing, transport, and stocking. When we are going for cobia, it is 40 rupees per seed. Similarly, sea bass also 40 rupees per seed. But cobia will reach 4 kg in a year. But in case of sea bass, it will reach either 0.8 kg or 1 kg. This is the maximum growth in 1 year in marine means near shore condition. So sea bass is always suitable for brackish water condition only. Feed cost. Already we discussed the feed cost here. Almost per kg we need almost 11,85,000 rupees for kg. Sea-based operation cost is 2,40,000 4,000, and land-based operation cost is 1,06,000. Almost 17.5 lakhs is our operation cost, and 9.2 lakhs is our cage fabrication cost. So if we are deploying 10 cage in a site, we have to combinedly invest. 1,75 lakhs. This is for industrial scale cage culture practice. This economics for industrial scale cage culture practice. Here we are going to see the profit based on our production. Our gross income is 1 kg of cobia is 4 kg in 4 kilogram. Okay, our gross income is rupees 400 per kilogram. Our 1 kg system could produce 6,174 kg of cobia. Okay, that too up to 70% survival only we are telling here. In cobia we can achieve up to 80% also, but this much survival we cannot achieve in sea bass. That's why we are in open sea condition. We are always insisting to go for cobia. So in which in production itself we can get up to 24,69,600 in 1 kg. In 1 kg itself. In 1 kg means in 1 kg system. In 10 kg system, this is 2,46,96,000. So we are deduction of total operation cost is 17,54,000. Gross income is 7 lakh in 1 kg. In 1 kg system, we can get up to 7,15,000. Okay, the depreciation cost we have to consider. Total depreciation of is 12.5%, and boat and scuba equipments is 20%. Means here our cage components will stand for the durability of our cage system for 8 years. Here our scuba component is for 5 years. So combination of all these things, the depreciation is 1,15,000. And similarly, we have to consider the banking interest of the investment, because we are getting loan from bank only to start this cage culture system. NFDB is providing subsidy loan. So anyhow, we have to pay interest. Considering that interest, we have to reduce almost 83,000 per cage system. So after reducing all these things, we can get 5,16,000 in single cage itself. If we are doing 10 kg system, we will get almost 51 lakhs in 1 year itself, after reducing this all the depreciation from our cage components, deduction of bank interest. So this is a better model for here. One thing I want to tell, here we are putting only 400 rupees per kilogram. Okay, but in Kerala and all, the government itself procuring, much of it is a government agency. It is procuring cobia fish almost 600 to 700 rupees per kg. So when we are culturing cobia, Kerala and West Coast is having better market. That also we have to consider. In another one profitable culture model is capture-based aquaculture. Capture-based aquaculture is already I told, cage culture system is required only 50 to 100 gram seed. But now we are starting with 5 gram seed or 2 gram seed. Okay, when this capture-based aquaculture system guides us or provides us or providing opportunity collecting wild seed. If because we are not, since we are not getting suitable size of grouper seed. Okay, so anyhow we have to go for wild collection only. So when we are getting suitable size grouper, we can stock directly into the cages. The duration of culture period will be very less. Instead of 1 year, in 6 months itself, we will get a marketable size. So that's why we can go for capture-based aquaculture. But that also we cannot go for all the fishes. Which fish is having more marketable and some that limited quantity of fish seeds we have to collect. That means considerable. We have to consider, it should not affect that maximum production. It should not affect wild stock. So based following all the criteria, we have to collect particular quantity of seeds, particular number of wild collected seeds. With that only we have to start. Some agencies are there in Egypt. They are following this capture-based aquaculture, because Nile is providing more mullet seeds. Nile estuarine system of Nile is providing more mullet seeds. They followed capture-based aquaculture, capture-based cage culture, but it affected wild stock. Next year wild stock is got affected. That's why some regulations are came. So this much number of wild seeds only need to be harvested for capture-based aquaculture. Similar kind of system we have to follow in India also. It will provide our sustainable aquaculture, cage culture opportunity. And so major challenges in open sea cage culture. Still now, commercial scale production of cage components is not available in India. Okay. Only based on our requirement, we are based on our specification. Some companies are coming forward. Among them, one company we found is suitable and they are producing, but they produced it, but no companies are approaching, no cage culture farmers are approaching the company, but they are still asking NIOT, sir, we based on your specification, we produced all these models. So, but no farmers are coming. So anyhow, still India is in a very starting stage only. So anyhow, one fact is small, need commercial scale production of cage components is required, and a lack of landing facility, expertise, and technical manpower. When we are starting cage culture in open sea condition, rough season, we cannot pass through the waves. We cannot cross the waves. So that if high wave means we cannot feed, we cannot pass through the cage waves. We cannot feed fishes. Even 5 days, even cyclone time and all, continuously 5 days, 10 days also, we have to face high waves. Okay, so that time we cannot feed the fishes. So all these things. So if any proper landing facility, jetty facility is available, means we can, without any hindrance, we can do our cage culture activity. Similarly, for cage culture, experienced people are not available, and even understanding expert language, the technical manpower also very less. Okay, these things we have to develop. And for sustainable seed production, only 2 hatcheries are available. For cobia, RGCA is available, Rajiv Gandhi Center for Aquaculture, and CMFR Mandapam Center is available. But there also, there is no sustainable production of seed is available. So many hatcheries has to come. The CMFRI, RGCA are government agencies. They have their own limitations. So for experimental studies, they are producing the seeds, but the commercial hatcheries has to come to produce adequate quantity of seeds. If cobia seed is available in adequate quantity, many farmers are very interested to start a cage culture system. The only main hindrance is availability of low availability of seed, that too cobia seed. Some hatcheries are there, they are producing sea bass seeds, but it is mainly used for pond-based culture system, pond-based sea bass culture. But cage-based sea bass culture is very few places only sea-based, the two estuarine-based cage culture is going on. See, another one thing is availability of carnivorous marine fish feed. That too only now only two companies has come, like Star and Skretting. Now they are starting. Their production is good, and their quality of feed also very good. And main thing is poaching of fishes. Open sea condition, we cannot stay 24 hours. We are believing people and we are keeping cages there. And once it is marketable size reaches, many fishermen are coming and they are approaching. Their night time they are coming and they are approaching cages and harvesting fishes, damaging nets. If fish farmers are fighting with them, means night time they are coming and damaging the cages. These things also is happening. These things, better understanding need to come. Government or agencies has to provide a better protection system for our cage system. This our another is sea leasing policy. Sea leasing policy is some area need to be allocated. This area should be for cage culture system, cage culture practices. Then that area should not be disturbed by fishermen or traditional fishermen, trawlers. These conflicts need to be avoided. Okay, these things it is highly essential. Sea leasing policy need to be framed for sustainable cage culture system. And similarly, insurance policies. So our cage system is prone to poaching and prone to environmental problems like cyclone, these things. So no other companies are providing policy. Insurance companies are providing policies for cage system. This policy companies need to come forward. They have to frame suitable premium for a cage culture system, everything with the cooperation of government. So these things need to be considered. So with this, I'm concluding my session, and I want more interaction. Maybe my presentation is having very many hindrances and disturbances. Sorry for inconvenience, but I'm ready to. My English also, my presentation also is maybe some difficulties, but I'm very much eager to interact. Very practical way. I want many questions. I'm expecting many questions. Who are all having real interest, they can ask their doubts and questions. I'm ready to answer. Thank you. Please ask.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable presentations regarding cage aquaculture as a profitable business. Participants, do you have any questions?
Oh, sir.
Yes,
Thank you for the presentation.
Yes,
can we get that presentation, sir, as a copy?
Okay, sir. That organizers are allowing means we will
yes.
provide, sir.
Yes, sir. We will send, sir. Actually, we are recording the entire session, so we will send it, sir. No problem, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. As it is like a PPT means it is very good for us, no, sir? It is easy to read.
Yes.
Sir, thank you for your presentation, sir. And it is very good presentation, sir. Means which were including very practical knowledge, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. That's it, sir.
So actually, one question is asked from the participants. He asked, cage culture related research works, and what are the best institutes or any culture forms for including NIoT is available? So he's asking.
Sir, at present, our cage system in mainland is Olekuda near Rameshwaram.
Okay, so.
And then another one is in North Bay, Andaman. There we are doing cage culture of sea bass and cobia and carangids, broodstock development studies for carangids. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
We are concentrating broodstock development for our forthcoming hatcheries. We are building multi-species marine finfish hatchery at Port Blair.
Okay.
To meet the demand from our side also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So anytime they can come and see our cage culture system, either in Andaman or in mainland.
Okay. The participants, anybody having any questions? So one of them asked, any internships are available for related to cage culture? So
internship.
Yes, sir.
Training. It means training students. Training for students. Hello. Hello. Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir. Training for students.
Yes. You can approach NIoT director and you can request for internship, and it will be provided.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So I think there is no questions from the audience end.
Yes.
We will end up this session, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for allotting your valuable times for talking this wonderful presentation, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
It is not
Thanks
wonderful. It is very, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you.